You know, we live in a world that is completely built by technology. It connects us, it empowers us, and it's always promising this amazing future. But what if that very same technology is also creating the exact problems we're trying to solve? Well, that's the big paradox we're diving into today.
It's a really powerful and honestly kind of unsettling idea, right? The very tools we create to make our world better can also break it in brand new, totally unexpected ways. And this tension is right at the heart of pretty much every single technological breakthrough.
And it turns out there's actually a name for this whole idea. It's called technological dualism. It's this core concept that every piece of tech, big or small, is really a double-edged sword. It brings both incredible promise and serious peril. It's such a useful lens for looking at the world around us. So where do we see this dualism most clearly? Well, let's start with the technology that's literally closest to us. I'm talking about the devices in our pockets and the giant networks that link them all together. Okay, get this. The sheer scale of our connection, it's just staggering. As of 2024, there are 5.44 billion of us online. That's more than 2/3 of the entire planet's population. I mean, we've built this truly global village. But you have to ask, what kind of neighbors are we actually becoming? Just think about your own day-to-day life. Social media gives us these incredible benefits, right? We can connect with people we love, we get access to a world of information, and we can find our community. But it also fuels anxiety, it spreads disinformation like wildfire, and it even leads to phubbing. You know, that thing where you snub a real person right in front of you by staring at your phone? It is a perfect, everyday example of this dualism in action.
And lurking behind all our screens are the algorithms, these invisible engines that are shaping our world. And they don't just recommend what movie to watch or what to buy. Oh no, their influence goes so much deeper. Now, they're being used in the criminal justice system to help figure out who gets bail and who has to stay in jail.
And here's the thing about that. These algorithms, they are not neutral. As this quote points out so clearly, when bias gets baked into the code, whether it was on purpose or not, it's marginalized communities who end up paying the very real price in the real world.
And look, it's not just about what's in the code, it's also about who even gets access in the first place. There's this massive gap, a digital divide, between wealthier countries with tons of internet access and poorer nations that are being left further and further behind. This connected world of ours, it isn't connected for everyone.
Now, this dualism doesn't just shape our social lives, it is completely reshaping the world of work. So let's take a look at how automation and robotics are transforming our jobs and our entire economy.
Now, this isn't a totally new story. We've seen these big waves of change before. First up, you had mechanization, which replaced muscle with tools. Then came automation, bringing in machines that could operate themselves. But now we're in the age of cybernation, where intelligent machines are controlling other machines. I mean, think about an AI that optimizes an entire factory floor by itself. That's a whole new level of human oversight just gone.
So where's all this happening the most? Well, industrial robots are totally revolutionizing manufacturing. The auto industry is leading the charge by a lot, but electronics and other big sectors are right there behind it. This isn't some sci-fi movie. This is the reality on the factory floor right now. This number, wow, this really shows you the human scale of this whole disruption. By the year 2030, up to 375 million workers all around the globe might have to switch to entirely new occupations because of automation. This is a massive, massive societal shift that's going to affect all of us.
Okay, we've talked about engineering machines. Now let's talk about engineering life itself. Biotechnology is arguably our most powerful tool yet, and it's raising these profound ethical questions about its awesome and, sometimes awful potential.
A game-changing technology here is CRISPR. To put it simply, it's like having a pair of molecular scissors for our DNA. Scientists can use it to find a bad gene, snip it right out, and then replace it with a healthy one. The potential here is absolutely incredible. We're talking about actual cures for diseases like sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, and even certain types of cancer. And that very same power to manipulate genes is at the center of the huge debate over genetically modified foods, or GMOs. On one side, supporters see a way to potentially end world hunger with higher yield crops. But on the other side, critics are worried about all of the unforeseen consequences for our health and for the environment. In fact, there's even a term for these potential downsides: technology-induced diseases. It's a pretty stark reminder that progress is never risk-free. What we introduce into our food, into our bodies, it can have consequences that we don't even fully understand yet.
So all of this, it leads us to the biggest question of them all. With all of this unbelievable power right at our fingertips, who is actually in control? How are we supposed to navigate this future that we're building so incredibly fast?
One of the key battlegrounds for this control is net neutrality. This is the whole debate over whether the big internet companies can control what we see online and how fast we see it. The core principles of an open internet, no blocking websites, no slowing them down, and no creating paid fast lanes, were just recently restored in the US after a long, hard fight. It just goes to show this is an ongoing struggle for who's in charge. And really, this is what it all boils down to. These technological issues force us to confront these huge clashes in our core values. We want privacy, but we face constant security breaches. We believe in justice, but we're using predictive algorithms that can be biased. We value facts and honesty, but we're drowning in industrial-scale disinformation.
There's a great sociological concept for this whole struggle. It's called cultural lag. It's what happens when our technology, the physical stuff, races ahead of our ability to create the rules, the ethics, and the laws to manage it. We're literally inventing things faster than we can figure out what we should do with them. And this quote, wow, it just powerfully captures the great paradox of our time. We all thought that connecting everyone online would lead to more understanding and peace. But instead, as James Bridle puts it, it seems to be fostering social divisions, distrust, conspiracy theories, and post-factual politics.
And that brings us to one final, absolutely crucial question. Just because we can do something, edit a human gene, build an all-knowing algorithm, automate an entire industry, does that mean we should? How we, as a society, answer that question, well, that's going to define the world that we all live in tomorrow.